Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sama. So in this video I want to share with you guys this story I came across. This woman had a baby many years ago. 20 years ago she went to the hospital, she had the baby and all of that. So many years later she was in her shop. I think she has a shop, but she had a spare one that she needed to rent out, and this particular lady came to rent the shop from her, and she didn't let her rent the shop because she said she wanted to do a salon and she didn't want a salon there, so she said no. She said the lady came 3 different days, 3 times, right, to ask for her to please let me rent this shop. I really need this shop, right guys? I think this story is interesting. And she said the second time the lady came, the lady was begging her that I'm not a bad person, like, I'm not a troublemaker, please, let me rent your shop. Eventually she said no. So the lady was leaving, she called her back and the lady came and she rented the shop to her. So the lady started running the business there. So one day a young lady was brought to the shop to come and learn hair making, and that young lady started working in that shop. She said somehow her and the young lady were getting on really well. Sometimes if she needs to go to her house, I'm thinking, the way some people build a house and then they build shops in front of their house. So I'm thinking, from the way I understand the story, is like she lives there. So she says sometimes when she needs to go to her house, she tells that young lady that's learning to make hair to help her mind her shop until she comes back. And the young lady became very close with her family. And sometimes when people come to her shop, she's not there. They ask the girl, oh, where's your mother? And people always refer to her as your mother. She's like, she's actually not my mother. And people kept saying, really? She's not your mother? You guys look alike. And she never thought much about it. So, but she said one day she actually asked her, what is your date of birth? And the girl said she was born on such and such a date. She was like, what? Are you sure? And then I think the girl called her mother on the phone or something. The girl said to her that she's living with in the story they kept on saying foster, but that should be the mother that adopted her, not foster. There's a difference between foster and adoption. And she called the woman to ask the woman, about her date of birth. And the woman was like, why? Oh, there's a lady here that's asking me. And she's like, the woman gave her another date. And she said, oh, okay, it's a different date, right? And the girl kind of accepted it and said, oh, it's a different date. And they left. But he said the thing kept on going on so much that they began to feel like there's something not right. And then the bond between them and the girl grew. The girl said that her mother that adopted her, they are not very nice to her, that she's, she was saying a lot of things. And she, like when she went off to college, they barely ever came to visit her in school. She didn't feel really loved by them. So, and she was loving this bond she had with this family. And then something else that happened, I think the girl one day, because the son she had in that hospital then wears glasses. So somehow the girl was like saying that she knows she needs glasses, but I think her family won't buy for her or something like that. And then she was begging this family to help her with glasses. And they decided to send their son to take her to go get the glasses. The son wears glasses, and I think the son needed to go for glasses, and they just send them. You might as well, get for 2 of them at the same time. Maybe the son needed to renew his glasses, I meant to say. And then the girl went with them to go to the optician. After doing all the tests, the optician was actually saying to her, oh, you guys are siblings. And they were like, no, we're not siblings. I was like, what, really? You have the same eyes. So I'm thinking the same eyes means that, okay, maybe the same sight problem. And the woman said she wears glasses herself. And you know that sight problems can be hereditary, like it can run in a family. Like if your parents don't see things that are far away, the chances of you needing glasses is high of the same problem. And they got glasses for this girl. There's just so many things that kept on happening that eventually they decided that they wanted to do a DNA test for this girl, because they felt like it was just too much, too many similarities. She looked like their son that was born 20 years ago and all of that. And it's a long story. I'm trying to cut it short for you guys, right? And the DNA test will be done typically with the father. So they did the DNA test, and the DNA test came back and showed that this girl was their daughter after 20 years. So basically what the story is that when she had her baby many years ago, she actually had twins. So it's like the hospital didn't give her the girl, they only gave her the boy. So all these 20 years, she was a mother to twins, but she didn't know it. Those of us that are Christians will say as God would have it. Those that are not Christian will say as faith would have it. Somehow. Imagine, this is the area of the story that I'll put a link. You guys can go read the full story, because I know I kind of jumped through the story because I didn't want it to be too long. But it's just to think about the fact that that lady that came to open a salon next to her, when that lady came the first time, they said no. That lady left and came back second time. And came back the third time. That was like, how do you explain that? And then to think not only that lady opened that salon, of all the salons in the neighborhood or whatever, this is the salon their daughter came to come learn how to make hair. Can you imagine? That is just what blows my mind. You can call it coincidence, but I think it's more than coincidence. I think it was like divinely planned to be like that. That's how I feel about it, right? Like, what are the chances of that happening? I think it's an interesting story, but at the same time, you just think about the how people can have no conscience. How do you do that to a mother? She had twins, and you gave her only one and took one. Oh, sorry, I think I missed this part as well, because they asked her, did you not do ultrasound? Did you not know you're carrying twins? They said this particular hospital, this doctor insisted on everything being done there. He had an ultrasound machine. He did everything himself. So he said the story is quite like, he held on to their ultrasound, he held on to everything, kept so many things a secret. What's even interesting is that in this story, fine, people are celebrating, oh wow, she got her child back. The mother that raised her on the other hand is trying to defend herself and say, I never stole anybody's Pekin, I never this, I never that. So she's trying to fight her own corner. But at the same time, the daughter that they finally found out this is their daughter said that the mother that raised her, that the siblings of that mother, that they have been putting her life through hell. That they are telling her, usually they try to send her to the village. The girl refused to go to the village. She's 20 now, so she's an adult, right? And then they even tried to arrest her biological parents and say, why did they go and do a test on her without her parents' consent? But they're like, she's the 20-year-old girl. She doesn't need her parents. She's an adult, right? And then they said the family members of the woman that raised her have been putting her life through hell. The mother that raised her has a sister abroad. That one called her on the phone and started raining curses at her. And that the siblings of the woman that raised her have been, telling her, so this is how you pay her back for raising you. They said she adopted her when she was 1 week old. This is how you reward her. Let me actually address this part. I think, let me tell you guys, from how the story is, the girl never felt loved by the mother that raised her. That is one. So that is even why there's a void in her that needs to be filled. Because there are some people that they would love the person that raised them, that they will not even care about the so-called biological. That they may find the biological, like, oh yeah, that's biological, but this is the person that raised me. I love her to bits and all of that. It happens, right? And so that bond is already not there from the way the story is said. And then on top of that, I believe that it's still possible for this girl to have the best of both worlds, where she still has this woman that raised her. If she wants to be in the life, that's another thing. She's an adult, she's 20, and then still have her biological family. It can be a win-win situation where everybody can be happy in the city. It can happen because I don't know how it happened in the first place that this thing happened, but at the end of the day, I think that there should be a good way forward where everybody can actually be happy. And definitely this couple are happy that they found the child that they didn't even know, or you know what I mean? Of course they're happy. This girl is not going to walk away from her twin brother. She wants to bond with that family, but the other family now cursing her out or whatever is going to even make it harder for her to want to continue to relate with them. So they should be careful not to lose her completely, because I believe that both people can have her. That's how I feel about it. Anyways, that's the story. I think it's interesting how fate worked out, God worked it out, or whatever way you want to put it, that they ended up meeting up again. I think it's an interesting story, and I wanted to share with you guys. I'll remember to put the link in the comment section, and any of you that want to go read up, you can go read up about it. As always, whatever you want to say about this, whatever your opinions are, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.